This is the Why the Hell podcast with Ty and Ken. And we are proud to say we are brought to you by thegamingcorner.org. You good?
That's how we're coming into the fucking podcast right now, bro. That energy. Right. You can only play 10 seconds or more before you legally get sued or something like that. I heard on a podcast one time. But what up, guy? What up?
Let's try not to get sued or anything. We only have 5 viewers on the last episode, which is good.
Yo, if you're getting sued, that means you're doing something right in life. That's my motto.
Or doing something wrong.
Right, wrong, it doesn't matter. You're still gaining attention, baby. But what's good, Castro? Another week, another dollar.
What is good, my main man? Yeah, another week, another dollar. Always on the grind. Same thing as always, right?
Big facts. I know my Germany fans out there, your Germany fans out there might notice. They'd be like, damn, how does this podcast sound a little crispier? And if you're watching on YouTube, they might be like, wow, that boy's picture look a little and I'm gonna tell you, boy, to upgrade it to a MacBook Air. You know what I mean? I'm not crazy, but I had to do it for y'all out there. And in fact, I'm still in school, but mostly for y'all. Mostly for y'all, I should say.
You know, it's not the school, not the paper you had to write earlier, right?
Don't worry about that.
You know, listen, not just the Germany fans. You know what? We picked up some UK listeners this past week. Yeah. We picked up some UK listeners this past week.
I was going to try to do a UK accent. Definitely about to come out as Jamaican. So I'm going to just stop right there. But I appreciate, you know what I mean, the Queen's peoples coming out to listen to our bullshit podcast. Hope y'all keep listening.
You know, and I will also say, because remember how on the gamingcorner.org website, now it has our very own section for the Why the Hell podcast, right? And over there, we actually saw some traffic hitting that section of the website from India and from France.
Couple pings out there. You heard that, people? Pings. We getting low. Beep, 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 beep.
Little something. All right, Todd.
Listen.
I was gonna say, yeah, Philomen. What are they expecting this week?
So listen, I think we finally kind of nailed down the direction of this podcast. Again, it'll morph from week to week. The direction of this podcast is going to be one centered on mental health, but we say this comes with the caveat that we want to provide laughs. Gotta stop saying but with those laughs, we want to make it respectful and we want to make it relatable to us and the fans that listen to us. So, we talked about it, and we're, week after week, we'll go through different stories, different things that happen to us, our different takes on certain parts of mental health or, just being minority males and talking about different aspects of mental health. So, yeah, that's kind of where the podcast is going to go. But again, it's always going to be in a fun way. We're always going to have like different segments. Probably start off the podcast talking about some sports or whatever's going on in our lives, in a mental health segment. But that's definitely where we want to take the podcast. And, it's important to both of us as we both deal with it. But yeah, man, I'm excited for it. So you want to speak on it?
Yeah, I'm extremely excited about it. Yes, you gotta stop saying as well, right? I feel like you put the in my head, and then I knew I was gonna drop one in there. I was gonna drop one of them, sprinkle it in like Salt Bae. But honestly, the way I look at it, we're not professionals, right? And we both have dealt with it, still deal with it, going through it, right? And something we found is just the random conversation together of just nonsense helps with the monotony of the day, of just the little things that just weigh you down, right? So we, as I was telling you, I hope that, even if this podcast helps 3 people, just get a laugh, be like, damn, you know what, I've gone through that as well. Oh wow, like another person had a childhood similar to me. If that helps somebody in any kind of way, then I'm fulfilled. I don't expect us to be top charting, nothing crazy like that. But if we get a couple listeners that are like, the goddamn, these guys, you know what? I can relate to them. I'm all for it.
And that's really what it's about. I listened to this podcast, Bomani Jones podcast, and really big fan of his or whatnot. And he says something all the time about like the start of the pandemic. It brought out a lot of people who started doing content and whatnot, i.e. us. Nope. And one of the things he said, he kept it real. He was like, a lot of y'all don't got shit to talk about. A lot of it's bullshit. And I'm like, yo, big facts. Like, what we're doing here is essentially some bullshit. We're not professionals at this, but this is kind of an outlet for us to have some fun and talk to one another and, connect with like-minded people. And another tidbit to add to that is I also heard on another podcast that one of the caveats of saying, I'm using the word caveat wrong, but it's when people talk too fast. So I'm going to try to slow down. So then that way I'm not saying and it's not like your boy's Remedial told me has two meanings today because he thought I was using it wrong. But shout out to Brennan. Fuck you, motherfucker. I got that shit right.
That is too funny. It'd be getting shout outs out here in the middle of the episode. We're not even that far in. He'll catch this and be like, you know what? Fuck you too, T.
It's all love. But I'm definitely excited for it.
Same here. Definitely excited, and honestly, I'm definitely excited that our friends group, they give it a listen. B was like, I listened to the podcast. Cute, like I appreciate you.
Even if it's like 2 minutes of a listen, because I know he's not listening to the whole 45 minutes, but
no, not at all.
I appreciate anything they could do is beneficial to the show overall.
You know what? Anything that gets them off of Call of Duty Warzone, I'll take it. Because he's not listening to it at the same time as playing.
Call of Duty Warzone is a form of keeping the people out of what's really going on in this world. Listen up, folks. You know what? Y'all don't really pay attention to what's going on to you. This chicken price is going up. These gas prices is going up. Ain't no gas out here for people to drive. They don't want you to go nowhere. They want you to keep being stuck at home playing Call of Duty Warzone. Game sales are down. I don't know if that's true, but I'm making it all up. But pay attention. Open your minds, guys. Call of Duty Warzone. It's here to fuck you up.
All those new skins, they be getting me, man. You saw my samurai guy with the kolachi.
Oh, biggest hustle in the field right now is like you used to pay $60, you get everything in the game. You know what I mean? It was like, then they upgraded to, we're gonna drop some extra content, but even extra content was like $10-$20, but you still got like all the gambit. Then fucking Bill, fuck you, Bill, which feels like, hey, how about an idea? And Jim is like, what's this idea, Bill? And the one time these motherfuckers listen to Bill, Bill's like, how about we just keep making them pay $10 to $20 every time they got to fucking upgrade something? And they're like, genius. And then they motherfuckers get you for like $200 before you know it. Man, fuck Bill. Fuck Bill. That's how I feel about Bill.
Not gonna lie, man. At this point in time, really thinking about it, Warzone is a free-to-play game. But in the long run, how much are you spending on it?
That shit not free, bro. That shit's taxing to your pocket and your mental health, bro. We just talked earlier.
100%.
Is sweating.
Quads is the sweatiest thing I've ever had to play in my life. I can do duels, I can do trios, all for it. I don't like the camping of solos, so you won't ever catch me on solos. But quads, I need like baby powder on my hands, man, just to keep them from perspirating. I'd be out here like tossing it, like pre-game warm-up, like LeBron, like let's go.
This is a shout out to anyone who's ever wore a black shirt. So anytime you wear a black shirt, you usually get those over time. You get those like those sweat stains on your armpits, whatever. You got to throw the shirt out. That's what quads does to you in one sitting. I don't need to work out after playing quads because I'm already drenched in motherfucking sweat just sitting on a couch. After it's like, I don't body the whole team, which is I never body the whole team. I'm just bullshit. I suck like a motherfucker. But it's like, team wipe the whole squad, and then it's a whole nother squad just there ready to eat your face. It's bullshit. I need to get off Call of Duty. It's not good for my mental health.
But then here's the thing: we don't do each other any. We do each other disservice, right? We hop off of Call of Duty, right, when everybody else is off. And we're like, let's go to Rocket League. That is just as sweaty as Call of Duty is.
Oh, because motherfuckers make it their full-time job to be out here flying and shit like they Peter Pan.
From one side to the other. Never ever land over there.
Fuck, yo. It's like, bro, I'm just trying to come here for like 5-10 minutes, chill with my boys, play a little couple games. Nah, y'all be out here like, I believe I can fly. We don't need you to be Cristiano Ronaldo, motherfucker. This ain't FIFA. Relax, kiddo.
Listen, it'd be wild out there. That's just the stress on the mental from just the video games, right? That's not. Those are the multiplayer games, Don't even talk about when we sprinkle a little bit of Dead by Daylight and remember why we barely play the game, right?
Yo, so last week we played Dead by Daylight, right? I haven't played in a couple months because some of our friends be acting like little bitches, won't name any names, but homeboy was straight up turn Super Saiyan in the middle of the match and then straight slashes you. It's like, bro, you got to work on 5 generators. I don't know if you ever touched a generator in your life. If it breaks, I ain't gonna know what to do. So these generators take forever. It's like putting your microwave on 10 minutes and you just watching this Hot Pocket trying to fucking come out the oven. Anyway, long story short, that made no sense anyway. But why do these games have to be so difficult? I'm just trying to come here for a good time. I'm not here for a long time.
Yeah, it's lopsided.
These game developers to go back to these Mario games, these super easy Mario Party type games where, you just press 2 buttons and that's it.
Listen, we could barely get down pack one home run derby and it's 1 button.
So
barely hitting double digits.
We're not going into that. So Kenny, how about we just tell the people? We're just gonna skip right over that because we out here cheating with David Ortiz. So tell the people. So give me something. So give me something good that happened this week with you. What's up?
Man, something good. Something good. Right, positive wise. So, right, positive. Mother's Day just happened, right?
Okay.
My stepdaughter bought the fiance, her mom, a big old air fryer, right? She went with her dad. They got her an air fryer, like 10 quart. Like this thing even does rotisserie chicken in it, right?
Yeah.
I found it kind of amusing, right? That they bought her this because I handled most of the cooking at home most of the time, right? Wifey will do cooking a lot as well, right? When I'm busy and all that stuff. But for the most part, I'm the cook. So then I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's dope. And wifey was like, yeah, I love it. I was surprised. It's huge, but this feels more like a gift to you, right? Through me. And then I proceeded to cook in the air fryer every single day since Mother's Day, right? So I feel like Gordon Ramsay at this point. I did a rotisserie chicken in it yesterday. Never done a rotisserie chicken in my life. But here I am. Yo, fire. Okay. I went, picked up, so I was like, I was talking to our boy, Chef Sai, shout out, the man, the myth, the legend out there, right? And I was like, yo, and we were talking, he was like, yeah, you need something specific in oil or your grease that's gonna be like a high smoke point, and I'm like, all right, sounds good, sounds simple enough, right? So I went out and I was like, for this rotisserie chicken, I'm gonna get some ghee, right? I saw that the smoke point was somewhere around 470 to 480 for that, so that's high enough. It's pretty. It's on the top end of most of the smoke points of these items that I could pick up. Did that, and I was like, look, and I was like, oh, you know what? Let's go with some beer can chicken rub, and let's rub down the rotisserie chicken with this. Bro, I did that, slapped it in. When it was done, yo, I saw the picky eater is my stepdaughter, so I'm like, yo, come through, taste it. Once she was like, it's good. I was fist pumping like Jordan and Tiger Woods. I'm like, let's go. That's the only one that had it clear. Once she said it's good, it's a wrap. Everybody else gonna like it.
Was there a quiet pause? Was there a quiet pause from the background?
Oh, 100%. Like I gave her the chicken wing, right? Like I sliced it off because also this is how you know that I'm like taking this cooking thing to a whole different level, right? For Christmas, my brother got me this Serbian chef's knife. This thing looks like a butcher's cleaver, right? Like I'd be like slicing shit off, like ah. So I sliced off the chicken wing, right? It barely had to do much, and it came off, right? Gave it to her, and I side-eyed her. Like I was like, she started chewing. tasting. Oh, like she was like mouthful, like good. I don't like that's what I'm talking about. Let's get it.
Yo, that's one of the best things when you cook something. When you cook something for wifey, or is there something for anyone in general, and they just like you look, and it's like you put in all this hard work, you turn, and you get that golf moment, like you said, and it's like you're in the kitchen. This is a par 4, a birdie to win the match, and then they go, wow, this is really good. And you hit that Tiger Woods. Yes! Yes! They did it. He cooked the rotisserie chicken in the air fry. Man, that feeling's amazing, bro.
Oh, amazing. You like that I found that really feels really good. Won't also throw too many shots because, you know, I will say last cook-off I had with our boy, which was the burgers, I claimed that title. I claimed it. Claimed it. What's up? He might not even make it this far. What's this? It might be like 15 minutes into the episode. He won't make it, but I claimed it. You get me? I got the belt handed to me for that cook-off, right? By Brother B. Brother B was like, yo.
I was gonna say, I heard from the third party, aka Brother B, you might have won that, but I never brought it up.
Crown me. Crown me. That was just the burger off, right? You know, I think I understood what the chef wanted to go with. He went with like a teriyaki inspired burger, right? I kept it simple with the bun, the brioche, my burger meat mixed of ground beef and Italian sausage meat. So, you know, something a little different. Had to come through in the clutch with it. That's also a go-to burger of mine. So I was working with the recipe in the mental.
All right.
But
all right, well, listen up, man. I'm gonna give you what happened to me this week.
I want to hear
that
it.
makes me feel good, and we're gonna move on directly. I'm not gonna go too deep into it. You know, I'm gonna kind of leave you on suspense. But no bullshit. I try to keep it real with you and the podcast. And your boy had a threesome this week. Shout out.
You're lying.
But that's also going to lead us into our topic for the week, which is the added on of this additional 17th game for the NFL and kind of the mental ramifications for that. And also we'll dibble and dabble in the playoff game and how that kind of can affect the player. Not that we've ever played, but just kind of how we think about things. But
I'm feeling
go ahead.
I'm feeling like Travolta, right? In in Pulp Fiction, when my man's sitting there like looking to the side, right? Like,
listen, don't, as a medical professional, you don't want to turn your neck too much too fast. You might, get a kink in it, get some pain, get a headache. But yeah, man. Again, we're not gonna touch into it. We just gonna blow right by it. But how you feel about the 17th game, my friend? What's
man,
up? Talk to me.
All right, the 17 games, man. Honestly, like I'll give you a little tidbit into. Ooh, I lost your video footage there. You still there?
Oh, I don't know what happened.
All right. I'll cut up that a little bit.
That was strange.
So as I was saying, right, with that 17 game, man, I was telling you, I was giving you the sneak peek of how I felt earlier. I was like, damn, that added game, man, it's already bad enough, right? The wear and tear mentally and physically on the players for 16 games plus playoffs is a lot. But now imagine, like, it's not just the 17 games for the NFL, right? We also have only one team from each conference getting the bye week. So instead of two, right now everybody's like, yo, it's almost like all the way almost to the end. If too many people are close for that first seed in the conference, you're playing all 17 games through. You know, that weighs on you. That weighs on you physically, mentally, right? And it starts to wonder, like, I get it. You know, the collective bargaining agreement, they agreed on it last time just to get more money too. But sometimes, you know, you really think about it, like, most of the people that outvoted the ones that were against this in the players union were like the lower end players, right? The ones that get paid very base salaries, right? because they're like, yo, anything for an extra couple bucks, you know. I'm a practice squad player, or I'm only special team, so I'm not really on the field like that, you know. These guys want to get paid, so if it means an extra check, they're all for it, right?
Yeah.
But the players who are on that field 75% of the snaps, right? That's an extra game, right? And they're the ones feeling it. They're the ones really seeing the toll of it weighing down on them, especially if they're fighting for that bye week. They're like, damn, you know, we really want this bye week because we're not trying to play every game, right? All 17 games and then have to go into wild card weekend, right? That 1 week of rest is big. And I feel like nobody really took into account like the mental of these players, right? Like how is that? Like that's another, you know, you get some people who got added, you know, not everybody gets home games, that extra game. Half the league's gonna have away games, half the league's gonna have home games, right? So that's an extra week you're away from family right before playoffs. So then if you're on the road all playoffs, right? Like you're winning, but you're the lower seed, and so then that's another a couple more weeks added on. So you're like, when you thought you were like, all right, I'm gonna go get a break, or I'll be back home with the fam. Nah, that's another week, man. Some of these players need that break. I don't see what was conducive for the extra game. What about you?
So I agree with what you're saying, and you know, I think you can look at it in a multitude of ways. So I'll kind of play devil advocates here, where I think this is kind of where the NFL is trending, and I say that because for me personally, I feel like the NFL only has about a good 40 to 50 years, which is a long time. Don't get me wrong, things happen anytime soon as being the king of sports. But I think as, kids get older, mothers don't allow their, or mothers and fathers, I apologize, parents in general don't allow their kids to play football as much, or, they kind of dive into other sports, and income levels start to rise. Hopefully for minorities, they're able to play different sports, things of that nature. And I say that to say, I think the NFL kind of realizes these things early and is trying to get, the most money they can and the most exposure to the fans, most merchandise, sell tickets, things of that nature. But again, there's opportunity cost there, and the opportunity cost is another game, another week of treading on these dudes' bodies. Yep. Treading on, and it's not just their bodies. It's the fact that these dudes have to get mentally prepared to, go play another week. Honestly, I don't know if any of you out there have ever played organized sports. I have in high school. I was lucky enough to be able to play football. But I say that to say, one of the things that sets in as the season goes on is it gets kind of like routine, and I don't want to say it gets bored, because I feel like bored's the right word, but like every week is not like as intense as the last week. Every opponent's not as intense as you may want it to be, or it's built out to be. It takes a lot to get up for those games. It takes a lot to get through practice. Like practice is, it
becomes monotonous,
hella boring. Yeah, bro, monotonous, great word. It's just like repetitive week after week, and again practice is like, oh my god, you start getting kind of tired of some of the dudes you're around. It's like so to add another game into it is like, all right, and then you're playing the game at a highest level, and injuries start setting, and even if you're not on an IR, you got these nagging injuries, and it's like and if you're not making the playoffs, it's like, I'm playing this extra game for what, for who, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So again, I agree, but I think the overall trend of the league, it was gonna go this way. Players want more money, they want the salary cap to rise, or the salary cap to rise, the overall money for the league to rise, and you only have so many ways to do that. And one of those ways was to add another game. They got rid of a preseason game, great, but there's kind of give and take somewhere. You can't really have opportunities for more money to sell these games to networks and things like that if you're not able to budge and be like, hey, we're going to play another game. So I agree, with player sentiments, and I agree that it doesn't benefit the players mentally, but it's I can see why the league and members of the NFL PA decided to go this route.
Definitely, you can always see it and understand it, but damn, I think ultimately, I would assume this is we'll just see something down the line in 10-15 years how this is affecting players in like a more negative way. They added game, maybe higher chances of CTE, concussion protocols, things like that, or more injuries. We'll start seeing, God forbid, more ACL tears, more broken bones, just inside, season ending injuries, things like that, things of those natures. I would hate for it to happen, but I feel like the added high intensity game, like I get preseason, everybody's going through the motions in preseason, injuries still happen in preseason, like they're freak injuries, but you're really kind of, it's almost like the walkthrough offense, right? And you're playing like to show what you got, right? But the games don't matter. Like they're not for the standings. Nobody keeps like reading the record. You could start 0-4 in the preseason and go on to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And football is a high variance game. So I think this just adds another level of variance to it, especially with you eliminating eliminating a week of bye weeks for two teams essentially. Having them play a game in the first week of the playoffs. So again, you to link it to the NBA, which also added the play-in tournament
for the second year in a row, right?
Second year in a row, and it has its benefits, for entertainment of us. But again, that comes at the expense of the players. We got players like LeBron talking about, we hate this. He's an older player, he doesn't want to be playing another game when he's already played, a bunch of games. We know how you feel about LeBron. Calm down there, Kobe Stan.
Listen, all I was going to say, he was all for the play-in tournament last year, right? Now they're heading into it. Now he's talking about who came up with this idea. Well, Bron, you were all for it. So,
but that's a human thing. Sometimes we look at these people and we just expect them, to not have human reactions. But
this is not my king.
If you're working on salary and your boss says, "Hey, instead of working 5 days a week salary, you have to work 6," but that's also going to net you a bigger bonus at the end of the year. Like, you might look at your boss and be like, "Bro, but go fuck yourself. Like, I hate you for this." You know what I mean? Like, it's a human reaction. So I don't blame LeBron for that. And I don't blame players for, not liking it. But again, there's only so many ways to make more money in, these high powered leagues. And unfortunately, one of the ways is to just keep adding to the product.
Yeah, you're right.
But
so what do you think right here? Like, we're already talking about the play-in tournament, right?
Okay.
So how do you feel? How do you feel these players are like the ones that, have been busting ass? They're in seven seed in the West is like a 3rd, 4th seed in the East, right? We know that. And so think about it, like, you're like, wait a second, like, why am I in a play-in tournament? Like, my record is better than half the league, right? I'm 7th seed, but now I gotta play the 10th seed, like, I gotta play the 9th and 10th seed just to keep my spot. Like, why do they get a chance? Like, they had the same amount of games as me, right? Why? Like, I've been busting day in, day out just to now be forced to come in here and play a tournament. Nah,
you gotta. But again,
I get it. Money ways, right?
No. You can look at it two ways. You could be like, "Hey, I've been busting my ass. Traditionally, it's been 8 teams in the playoffs, or 6 teams in the playoffs, or whatever."
I think eight each conference.
Yeah. Each conference in the playoffs, and this is bullshit, and we deserve better, and blah blah blah, this and that, busting that, right? But you could also look at it as like, listen, there's a new set of standards, there's a new set of rules. This is what it is this year. You may have your team may have, be a whole 8 games up, but I apologize. Your team may be a whole 4 games up if you're in the playoff tournament. I'm thinking if you're in one of the first 6 seeds. But you may be on a fringe and be like, yo, you know what? We got to play this game. But as an athlete, I expect you to kind of saddle up, put on your big boy pants and be like, yo, we about to go out there and show it again. It's a 1-game playoff tournament. Give it your best shot. And, if you really could talk that shit, and go out there and prove it on the court, or go out there and prove it on the field. You know what I mean? So for me, it's kind of just yeah, I get it. I totally understand where you're coming from, bro. But like you said, you think you deserve this, go out there and show it. Because just because you deserve something don't mean that it's going to be given to you on a fucking silver platter.
Okay.
If that was the case, what the fuck we got championships for?
Okay. Tell them how you feel, Ty.
Just saying, bro. Don't be out here trying to coddle these motherfuckers, yo.
Listen. I'm not coddling nobody, right? But what I'm saying is,
I'm not calling no individual motherfucker. I don't want nobody coming up to me.
Yeah, LeBron,
fight.
LeBron, that's what he called you, bro.
Chill,
that's one of your disciples, one of your followers calling you that.
LeBron's a good dude, yo. I'm not the biggest LeBron fan.
Off the court,
respect is due.
Off the court, he is the GOAT, right? Arguably on the court, the GOAT as well. But everybody knows I am a troll, right? And I will nitpick and make any argument. I can argue with you that water has a taste, even if you say no, it doesn't. I'll find a way, right? I'll find the way to be a troll. So everybody knows how I feel about LeBron. And if you don't, he's not my GOAT. He's not my top player. Not ever, not even right now. So that's a whole different topic, right? But what I will say is that even somebody like LeBron, man, granted, he's not playing right now, so I think he mentally set in, right, with the thought that, you know what, my team's going into the play-in tournament, so why am I going to play? I'm just going to rest up, right? But what does that send? What's the message mentally does that send to the team? Does the team say, bet LeBron's the be it all, end it all, he's our savior, we just keep playing until he decides to come back and will us into the regular playoffs, right? Or do I take that yo, I'm coming in every single day, busting my ass, you ain't got no injury, you just chilling over there in the corner. How are you feeling? You a Laker, you just there to pick up fouls at the end of the bench, right? You're 10th man, 11th man, right? They use you with the filthy field strategy, when they gotta come hack a shack, right?
I'm gonna cut your bullshit take off right now. You acting like these dudes, and I've heard this in sports talk before, and you're acting like these dudes are weak-minded motherfuckers. They ain't never been, ain't never been having to watch somebody be better than them or get special privileges. That's how life works. Life ain't fair. Again, we're not out here coddling motherfuckers. You know what I mean? This is motherfucking LeBron James. The biggest star the league has ever had outside of Michael Jordan, to be honest with you. And arguably. And if LeBron takes a couple games off to rest for a playoff tournament after y'all just won a championship with this man when y'all team was booty cheeks, booty, all right? I'm pretty sure those dudes are okay with that. That dude at the end of the bench who hasn't played in all season, there's a reason you're not playing, bro. So there's also a reason that you shouldn't be saying anything if LeBron James decides he wants to take a few games off. I mean, the man's been playing for 16 seasons, bro. Relax. Again, stop thinking these dudes are weak. These dudes aren't weak. These dudes aren't you, Kenny. You know what I mean? Wow. These dudes aren't just out here trolling and being weak, bro.
Wow. Okay, I see how it is.
All right. These are well-conditioned athletes, both physically and mentally. Give these dudes some credit. They understand what it is. You know what I mean? They're cool. I would like to think most of the dudes are cool and just understand it is what it is. You know what I mean? He's an older player. Let the boy rest. What are you gonna say? Stop it. Stop it with that.
All right. Let's be honest here. Right,
you're doing your trolling thing, bro.
Let's be honest here, right? LeBron would have never won that championship without Anthony Davis. So why isn't AD? Why isn't AD resting right now?
Oh,
he just came off an injury.
Most teams in NBA history have at least a 1-2 punch, my guy. That's how sports work. That's how basketball works.
I'm just making a point, right? You agreed. So I don't know why you arguing, right?
Listen,
we both
bro.
agreed to it, right? Hey, without
This
AD,
is
there's
straight
no.
Let's not stray away. Let's not stray away from our original.
So
From our original.
all right, so what is KD's mental with LeBron being able to rest, but KD came off an injury and couldn't rest longer? How am I feeling? How am I feeling then?
If I'm not mistaken, KD rested for weeks, right?
We're talking about
Weeks. AD. Okay. So AD also rested for weeks. There was a time period where
He was
AD was not
injured.
there. He was not there and came back when he was ready. AD's also a younger player. He can do things like that.
Taller player.
I'm pretty
more
sure
prone
that's
for
AD's
injury,
boy. They
right?
have the same agent, and I'm pretty sure he's not going there like, man, I'm giving it my all. You just ain't giving it. You just ain't giving it 100%, bro. This ain't kindergarten, my guy. You know what I mean? Like, let's bring it back to Call of Duty to kind of wrap this conversation up. So in Call of Duty, right, the limited amount of people we play with, which is like 6, I'm probably one of the worst ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kenny, I will give him credit. Kenny's a killer. Kenny would be out here murking motherfuckers with the cheat code. But I say that to say, I never play with y'all, and I never go, man, this game you ain't taking seriously, man. Like this, you just need to be a killer all the time, bro. Like, you need to play Call of Duty all the time. You shouldn't be playing something else. Nah, bro, that's not how life works. And again, bad analogy. Not good at analogy. People will get that. But what I'm saying is these dudes are better than that. And we need to start giving these grown men credit and understanding that, yeah, in some aspects they're human. They may be weaker in certain things, but just because someone takes a break or just, even because they got to play one game, doesn't mean that every player, is out here crying and whining about it. Sometimes it is what it is, and people understand that. And I think for the most part, people understand that. At least I would like to think they do.
All right, we're gonna take it as everybody understands it, right? Like, no, not everybody's going through it or feeling some kind of way. Like, teams don't break apart because of these kinds of things, right? But like KD and Russ didn't just not talk for a while because egos and feeling some kind of way. But I don't want KD's burner account coming at me on Twitter either. So my bad, KD.
So again, we'll wrap this conversation up. Again, most of these things wrap up with you being a troll anyway. But I always appreciate it. That's why we're doing this. But my battery's dying for all intents and purposes.
Look at this man. Never charged nothing.
Bro, we never charge nothing out here. We pay everything off. No credit cards. You know what I mean?
You know what? I'm gonna give the audience a little something, right? So this man out here, you hear it. It's dying. We're wrapping up the episode, right? So I want to tell you, this man most likely on purpose hasn't connected the laptop because he's had to work with his old laptop connected at all points in time just so it could stay on. He needed to know what it felt like to be able to move it around without a charger.
Don't be giving people an insight to my mental, bro. You don't know me, all right? You don't know me. I'm a fucking thug out here.
Okay.
But nah, I was going through a very significant amount of time where it was, if your laptop unplugged, then fuck it. So, which is why I got this one. So yes, I ain't plugging this bitch in until the last possible second.
Listen. I remember those days, man. I actually, funny thing, right? Talk about. Well, I'll end it off with this quick little story, right? Can you believe first laptop, right? You would assume. I had to go through high school looking at people talking about, oh, I got unlimited text messages, and I'm like, nah, I can only send 200 a month, right? Seeing all these perks that people have, people talking about laptops and all these things, right? And I was like, damn, my mom pays a mortgage, right? She works 2 jobs. I can't afford the luxuries of life. That used to get me down, right? And when I started working, I was like, bet I'm working. I'm gonna be able to afford things. Nope. Gotta help with bills at home. Gotta pay to fix a car that she bought that was only run for me. Like, so I gotta fix my own car that I got bought for, right? First time I got a laptop though, Carter. Shout out to Mr. Carter right there, my boy. Yo, jokingly, I sent him a message, right? We're talking, and he's like, yo, bro. And I was about to start classes at the community college nearby in Holyoke. And I was like, damn, I don't got a laptop, right? Like, I'm gonna have to try and scrape up some money to get one. And he was like, for real? And I'm like, yeah. He was like, you remember the Sony Vaio I used to have? I'm like, yeah. What's up with it? He was like, oh, you gotta keep it always plugged into the charger till it stays on. But you can have it. It's yours if you want it. I'm like, you lying. He was like, come by Monday after school. Went by our high school, picked it up. Yo, one of the happiest days of my life. Something as simple as a used Sony Vaio that wouldn't charge without being unplugged in, right? Because I was like, damn, I was like, this feels good. Like, this is one person that's giving me something that's like, yo, go do something with yourself and be good at college, which I dropped, but that's a whole different conversation.
And then you got a laptop to make OnlyFans.
Listen, I am not dropping my OnlyFans link. As we talk about it, we're wrapping this up because Ty is dying for my OnlyFans, and I'm dying to hear about this. I'm dying to hear about this threesome. You know what I mean?
Don't worry, I'm gonna get y'all that link.
You know when y'all get this link?
Showing his rectum.
When y'all get this link is when Ty gives us the details of this threesome.
Never.
So
it's
guess
going
what?
to the grave.
It's never happening then. No OnlyFans for you guys. And that has been the Why the Hell podcast. Before I let Ty sign us off, I'm gonna remind you guys can check me out on Twitter at Ken but not Kaneki. That'll be in the description of the podcast, and also check out the podcast on YouTube. You can find it at the Gaming Corner YouTube channel, and also you can find it on my website, thegamingcorner.org. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys. I will check you out, and let Ty wrap it up.
Hey, listen, my mental health of the week is make sure you take care of your finances. And I know that's not, you're like, how's that mental health? But make sure that you are first and foremost putting food on your table. You got a roof over your head. And after that, take care of a little bit of debt, even if you can't hit it all, maybe just throw a couple of dollars at it. And then if you really want that certain thing you've been, grinding for and researching for, and you think it's going to benefit your life, get it now, man, because life is too short and you never know when you will. I don't mean to go broke by saying that when I say that, but I mean, again, if it's going to be something that's going to make you happy, no matter how big or how small, and you can afford it and things are taken care of in your life, go get that. All right. Life is about, those happy decisions. So make sure you get that. All right. Again, I'm trying to get y'all that OnlyFans from Kenny. Subscribe to his websites that he just talked about. Get that merchandise. And next week, we got a fun topic for you. So stay tuned. Appreciate all the love. Yeah.
Peace.
Love you, Baker.